Coming up on the HuskyZone, both basketball teams finished up their preseason schedule and both got a few solid performances under their belts as they prepare for league. The wrestling team shined at their home tournament, and the swimming team continued to make strides as they inch closer to district competitions. All of this and more is coming up on Week 7 of the Winter Sports HuskyZone. Hi, I'm Cole Costello, and welcome back to another NM Athletics production. Tri-Valley Conference play begins this week for the two basketball teams, while Tri-Valley Conference duels are on the horizon for the wrestling team. But before we get to those sports, here's Logan Beiser to discuss the swimming results.
Thanks, Cole. The swimmers went to Molalla on Wednesday in a 4-team meet with Blanchette, Riverdale, and host Molalla. Both Molalla and Riverdale are in the Huskies district. The boys only have 15 swimmers, making it hard to score points, with only one person swimming per event. They took third place in the meet behind Riverdale and Blanchette, however. Andy Pine had two second-place finishes in the 200 IM and the 100 back. Noah Norris placed first in the 50 free and second in the 100 breast. Kyle Torian placed third in the 100 fly. Both the 200 medley relay and the 400 free relay team took second for the Huskies. Over to the girls' side of the meet, they also took third place overall behind Riverdale and also Blanchette. Katie Palmer had a strong meet as she took second in the 200 IM and first in the 100 breast. Veronica Norris also did well as she placed second in the 200 free and first in the 100 back. The 200 free relay team took second behind Riverdale by only 2 seconds. Kobe Lemon placed second in the 100 fly and fourth in the 200 IM. The swim team then went to South Albany for a meet hosted by Cascade on Friday. The team scores are unavailable at this time, but the top finishers for North Marion on the girls' side are Kobe Lemon taking third in the 500 free, Veronica Norris taking third in the 100 back, and Katie Palmer taking second in the 100 breast, followed by Victoria Sahansky in fourth. For the boys, Andy Pine took first in the 50 free. The 200 medley relay took second, and the 400 free relay took first, swimming their fastest time this year. Noah Norris placed first in the 500 free and broke Ricardo Verastiki's record and took first in the 100 fly. That's it for swimming. Now here's Shane Whitehead for wrestling.
Thanks, Logan. The Huskies entered their home tournament on a hot streak and made sure to keep that going on Saturday. They won against every other team, the closest to Banks at 46-36. Other than that close duel, the Huskies blew out every other opponent. Casey Roberts, Derek Jones, Adam Vega, Orion Walters, Lucas Randall, Kelton Boykin, and Zach Sasson won all of their matches. Roberts, Boykin, and Randall all scored wins by major decisions, and the Huskies amassed 24 pins on the day. 3 of those falls were under 20 seconds. After capitalizing on their home tournament, the Huskies hope to continue striding onto more important competitions. Now here's Cole with girls basketball.
Thanks, Shane. On Tuesday evening, the girls played host to the Junction City Tigers of the Sky-M Conference. In this very low-scoring matchup, which featured a second quarter where 3 combined points were scored, the Tigers emerged victorious by 5. Lackluster performances littered both sides of the court, and neither team hit the double digits in made field goals. Michaela Musin had a team-high 7 points, while Katie Klewer had 9 rebounds. As the Huskies moved on in the week, they were left to make the decision as to whether they wanted to bounce back or wallow in mediocrity. With Friday came the lowly Eagles of Stayton, as the Huskies were making use of their final preseason game. Stayton came out showing their true colors, as their only points of the first quarter came in the waning seconds, trailing 15-2. On the other hand, the Huskies were firing on all cylinders. A red-hot performance by Katie Klewer was showcased by her first-half double-double. The girls took the lead early and never relinquished, as Stayton never had any hint of leading. The final score was 58-31, exhibiting the Huskies' dominance throughout. As the preseason wraps up, here are the Tri-Valley Conference standings through the conclusion of the non-conference schedule. LaSalle owns the conference's best record at 10-3, leaving North Marion and Gladstone vying for second. The final non-conference team stats show Jasmine Flores leading with 11 points per game, while Musin leads the rebounders with about 7 per game. North Marion outscored its opponents 565 to 560. Now moving on to the boys' side of things, here's Josh Hauser.
Thanks, Cole. Coming off of a winless week last week, the boys were back at home for a pair of games to round out their non-conference schedule. In a Tuesday game with the Junction City Tigers, the Huskies were involved in a very closely contested first half. Kellen Pippert stood out for North Marion with 10 first-half points, helping the Huskies head into the break with a 2-point lead over the Tigers. As close as the first two periods were, the second half was owned by North Marion, who went on to double up the Tigers 32-16 in the third and fourth quarters. The Huskies held leads as big as 19 before settling for the 60-42 final margin of victory. Kellen Pippert finished the night with 16 points and 7 boards, while Kyle Williamson continued to aid the Huskies' effort with 12 points of his own. Kerry Cook added in another 11 for North Marion. The Huskies outshot Junction City 46-33% from the field, while committing a season-low 12 turnovers. North Marion's ability to maintain possession of the ball, compounded by their efficient shooting, led them to their biggest winning margin of the season. On Friday, the Huskies were back at it, hosting the Staten Eagles. First half effort was not up to par with the way they knew they could play, and it sent them into intermission trailing by 7. The Eagles committed just 5 first half turnovers while they shot 41%. This Huskies' second half effort was inspired to say the least as they mounted a furious comeback. At about the midway point of the fourth quarter, the Huskies finally caught up to Staten as a pair of free throws sunk by Kyle Williamson tied the game and put the Huskies over the hump. On perhaps one of the most exciting turn of events on the season, Matt McLaren stole the ensuing inbounds pass and laid it in, pushing the Huskies' lead from 1 to a full possession. After a good defensive stand, Brock Brashear scored another basket, giving the Huskies a 5-point lead with 4 minutes and 13 seconds to play. However, down the home stretch, the Huskies failed to make their free throws, and the final possession yielded a turnover as Staten reclaimed the lead just in time to clinch victory. Matt McLaren was the only double-figure scorer for the Huskies with 10 points, while Kyle Williamson was right on his heels with 9. The final team stats are on your screen now. As we tie up the loose ends on the non-conference schedule, we take a look at the Tri-Valley Conference standings and how they matched up with their non-league opponents. As expected, LaSalle and Madras took the quick lead on the conference, especially the Falcons with their 13-1 record and number 3 state ranking. Gladstone and Molalla also went over 500 in the preseason. Taking a look at the final non-conference stats, Kyle Williamson far and away leads the team with nearly 12 points per game. Matt McLaren and Kerry Cook lead the rebounding category with 5.3 rebounds per game. The Huskies finished the preseason shooting 38% from the field overall. Now we hand it over to Cole for our trivia question.
Thanks, Josh. Last week we asked you when was the last time that a North Marion basketball team has come from a double-digit deficit to win. To get you the answer, we have to go back just a couple of weeks to December 22nd and the boys basketball team's exciting victory over Hidden Valley. At the 3:08 mark of the second quarter, the Mustangs had a 10-point lead on the Huskies, but a well-played second half gave the Huskies a lead of 7 in the fourth, and they hung on in the final minutes to defeat Hidden Valley 41-39. This week we ask you, what North Marion female swimmer held all individual swimming records and was a part of all team records until 2009? Be sure to text in your answer to 503-583-8NMA. And remember, someone will randomly be selected from our correct answerers to win a free NM Huskies wristband. Now here's Josh again with this week's North Marion Athletics FBLA High Flying Performer.
Let's go!
This week's North Marion Athletics FBLA high-flying performers are Katie Cleaver of the girls basketball team and Lucas Randall of the wrestling team. Katie had 2 outstanding performances this week. On Tuesday, Katie had a 9-rebound performance which helped the Lady Huskies stay in their game with Junction City. But more impressively, Cleaver had a standout performance on Friday versus Stayton. Cleaver had a double-double in the first half and finished with 22 points and 14 rebounds. Lucas Randall was outstanding in the Huskies' home tournament. Lucas went 4-0 on the day, not to mention pinning 2 of his opponents in under 20 seconds, including a 17-second pin and a 19-second pin. He also won another one of his matches on a major decision. That's it for this week's North Marion Athletics FBLA high-flying performers. And be sure to visit Mrs. Ione in room 2 for all of your balloon needs, as they are perfect for any occasion. Now we're moving over to our play of the week. This week's play of the week comes courtesy of Matt McLaren and the boys basketball team in Friday's game versus Stayton. Kyle Williamson just made 2 free throws to give the Huskies their first lead of the second half. As Stayton went to inbound the ball, Wyatt Moore deflected the inbounds pass and it ended up in the hands of Matt McLaren, who laid it in. As Stayton took it out at the bottom of the net once again, this time they couldn't even inbound the ball at all, forcing a 5-second violation. The Huskies went on to take a 5-point lead, but unfortunately would go on to lose to the Eagles. Now we bring on Wyatt Moore for more upcoming events.
Thanks, Josh. This week gets underway on Tuesday when the basketball teams kick off Tri-Valley Conference play with a long trip to Madras. The Lady Huskies play the White Buffaloes at 5:30 and the boys follow at 7 p.m. Friday, the basketball teams are back in action. The girls host LaSalle for a 7 p.m. matchup, whereas the boys hit the road again as they will play at 7 p.m. from the Brick Oven at LaSalle. The wrestlers head to Redmond for the annual Oregon Classics, which are held on both Friday and Saturday. And also on Saturday, the swimmers head back to Hood River for a 9:30 a.m. start in the Hood River Invitational. I'm Wyatt Moore. You stay classy, NM Nation.
As always, we'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to Young Life for their sponsorship of our ticker. Be sure to head to the Hub in Hubbard every Monday night at 8 p.m. for club, starting up February 4th. And that wraps up another edition of the NM Athletics HuskyZone. I'm Cole Costello, and see you next time.
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ blow